Hope your morning is going well so far. It is a lovely, misty day here in Columbia, South Carolina. I know some of you guys are off today. I am. Some of you are working. Either way, I hope you're having a good day. I just had a few things on my mind that I wanted to share. It'll take a few minutes to get this out, so if you have time to hang out with me the whole time, that's great. It's okay if not. So things are really difficult right now for a lot of us, and maybe we'll get more so with time. It's distinctly possible. So as we move through this time together, I had 3 points that I wanted to share with you guys that I have been thinking about a lot lately and maybe will be helpful. First, many of you who know me relatively well know that I really try hard to be a peaceful person. Make love, not war. It's kind of my approach to life. It has been for a long time because I used to be wrapped up in a bunch of drama and conflict, at least in my own mind, for a long time. And then I decided one day that I really didn't want to live that way anymore, and have been seeking a peaceful life, at least in my own mind and heart, for a long, long time. So when I do have a moment that is different than that, it really stands out to me significantly. So I wanted to share with you that I had a moment like that not long ago, a few weeks ago actually, and I won't go into the details, but I had a moment when I lost my temper with someone who I care about. Caught me off guard. I didn't really see it coming, and happened fast, and it was over with fast. And thank goodness the person that I care about was willing to move past that with me and forgive me. But the point that I wanted to share with that is, okay, so like I said, I've been living sort of a peaceful life for a long time, right? An intentionally peaceful life. And I know what that feels like on a day in, day out basis, to have my heart kind of calm all the time, most of the time. And then I had this moment where it really, really wasn't. I was very, 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 very angry. And I let that loose on someone that I care about. Now, the point that I wanted to make, this first point that I wanted to make with you guys this morning, is how that affected me. It had an impact, excuse me, it had an impact on the person I care about, but the impact that it had on me was a surprise. I felt for at least a week that I was grieving, like I had lost something precious to me, like I had lost a loved one almost. Like I felt this incredible heaviness and sadness. I couldn't apologize enough. I apologized to this person multiple times, over and over again, and here's what I'm doing to try to make this right. Here's what I'm trying to do to make this better. Here's what I'm trying to do to make sure this doesn't happen again. I mean, over and over and over. Lots and lots of internal work that I did since then, and I'm still doing to try to unpack what happened. But I wanted to say to you all that I was changed when I allowed that to happen. I was changed. I felt horrible. Horrible. It's the best word I can give you for it. And this is important to me. I wanted to share this with you because there may be moments in the next few days and weeks and months and years when those of us who are trying to live a peaceful life or trying to make a positive difference in the world, just in the way that we move through the world, there may be times when we're tempted to let loose on somebody, to let go of those things that we hold true, like a respect for others, even if they disagree with us. And I wanted to say to you, when and if that happens, when and if we do that, it will change you. And I know, because it just happened to me. So my first point that I wanted to share with you guys is, whatever you have to do, if you are a person for whom it matters to be kind, to be peaceful, to be a light in the world, if you're that person, then it's time now to sort of shore up whatever we can to hold on to that peace, even in the hard times. Number one, we don't want to do that to other people. We don't want to let loose on other people. Number two, it will change you. You will suffer. And again, I had this juxtaposition of these many years of trying to be a peaceful person, try to be tolerant, try to be understanding, try to listen all the time for years and years and years. And then this moment where I wasn't that, and what it did to me. I suffered. Me, not the other person. They moved past it. I couldn't for weeks. And I'm still struggling with it, y'all. I'm still trying to unpack the pain that caused me. So I say to you, please don't do that to yourself. Whatever you have to do to hold on to a peaceful approach, no matter the provocation, hold on to it. I promise you, the next morning when you wake up, it will serve you well, versus what you'll have to deal with within your own head and heart if you don't. Okay, so that's point number one that I wanted to share with you. Point number two that I wanted to share with you is, some of you know that I'm a huge fan of the story, The Color Purple, the book, the movie, the play, all of it. I love it desperately. I have for many, 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 many years. And there's a scene, at least in the movie, when the family is around the dinner table, and Celie kind of loses it on Mista. She knows that her sister is alive. She knows where she is. She's been holding on to this secret for the moment when she's ready to let it go and let him know that she knows. And she finally does. She grabs a knife. She threatens him. She's this close to killing him herself because of all of the pain that he has caused her. Many of you probably know this scene. And Sophia steps up in that moment. Sophia, who has just been let out of jail. She's been in jail for some period of time. We don't know. Looks like a few years she's been in jail because she stood up for herself. She was beaten. She was abused. And she loves Celie. And she sees what Celie's about to do. She understands why, of course. But Sophia steps in and says to Celie, "Don't do it, Miss Celie. Don't do it." She says, "Don't trade places with what I've been through. He ain't worth it." Okay, so pause there, and I want to jump over to my third point. I want to thread all these together. Thank you guys who are sticking with me and listening through all of this. There's another story that's in popular culture right now, and that's The Handmaid's Tale. So some of you have seen the show, some of you have read the book. It came originally from Margaret Atwood, who, by the way, wrote the book based on facts, things that have actually happened in history, and she threaded them all together in this story. So those of you that know the story know that there's the heroine of the story. Her name is June. And she is a handmaid, and she has kind of had enough. She experienced it from the beginning and all the way through to the point in the story where the TV show at least stops, and June is free. She's found herself free physically. She is not free in her heart, though. And she does some things near the end of at least the most recent seasons, that we see her as a changed person. She becomes, here's the point I want to make here. June becomes the monster that she's fighting against. Now, we understand it. Given everything that she went through, we understand what she does and why. But it's hard to watch because we want to believe in her as the heroine who's doing the right thing for the right reasons. And there are moments when she makes some choices that are not that are contrary to that. And that changes her. The things that she went through changed her as a person. We see that. She, spoiler alert, she leads a band of women and they commit a murder of one of the oppressors in the story. And that's the moment where we see June demonstrating that she has become something else. She has become the thing that she's fighting against. Okay, so if you'll allow me just a few more moments, I want to try to weave these three stories together. My first story is me sharing with you all that I was changed recently in a moment when I approached a conversation that went in a direction that I didn't like. I approached that with anger and venom. And the next morning, I couldn't stop crying because of me, because of what it did to me, okay? June, this heroine in this story who we are rooting for, pleading, June, please do the thing, do it. Save the women, save them, save the children, do it. But she gave in to that part of her that's lurking, right? It's probably lurking there within all of us, the potential to be that monster too, to join the monsters. So does it matter, really, which side you're fighting for if you are both monsters? It doesn't. And I can say that because I was a monster just a few weeks ago. And I know the tactic matters because it changes you. June's tactics changed her as a person. And now we will skip back over again to that moment in The Color Purple, where let me say what Sophia said again. And I know it because I've watched it so many times. I can quote just about the whole movie. Sophia says to Miss Seeley, who is in that moment tempted to stab Mister for everything that he has done to her, all of the pain he has caused her, all of the joy he has stolen from her. She is about ready to stab this man. And we would understand, right? We would understand. But Sophia says to Seeley, Miss Seeley, don't do it. Don't trade places with what I've been through. He ain't worth it. We could say to June, he ain't worth it. He ain't worth changing yourself to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. I could say to myself, giving into that darker side of yourself, Beth, ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. I want us all to be true to ourselves as we move through these next days and weeks and years. I don't want us to change in our nature because of the things that we feel like we need to fight for. And we do need to fight for them. I'm going to be fighting for them. I promise you. I'm going to be fighting for them. But I will not give my peace up in that process, because that will make me the same kind of monster that I'm fighting against. I want you to take me at my experience when I say to you, when you do that, it affects you. You will change. You will be in pain. You will wake up the next morning after an encounter like that, and you will be suffering. The other person, whoever that might have been, maybe they can move on. Maybe you had an impact, maybe, but you don't know that. But I promise you, you will know what you are feeling, and it won't feel good. So my hope for all of us, is that we can find strategies to make a difference, to speak up, to be the change that we want to see in the world, right? But within a boundary, within a frame that will hold on to your peace. Because the other option is too high a price to pay. We might end up winning on issues and topics, but we will lose within our own heart. We will be changed, and I promise you, you won't be able to look in the mirror the same. I know, I just did it. So strategies that we can try, meditation, prayer, sure, conversations, support from others, time together, community. All of those things matter. They really do matter right now. Not just jumping into the day willy-nilly, just like whatever comes at me, I'll take it. No. Prepare your heart. prepare your heart, prepare your spirit for each day, because we really don't know what's going to come. But we want to have a peaceful moment, at least in the morning, where we can sort of center ourselves and be ready for whatever comes, so that you don't fall off of the cliff when it happens. If we want to be effective, we have to hold on to that level of peace. We have to hold on to that level of intentional approach, so that we aren't shaken into becoming a person that we don't want to be. And I want to say to you guys, this is a moment. It's a moment. Might be a long one. But right now, you see where I'm sitting. I'm sitting on my beautiful porch. It's a lovely, cool morning in the fall. I had coffee. I've got friends watching. I know you guys are friends of mine. I'm grateful for you. There's a lot for me to be grateful for in this moment. And that's what I'm going to choose right now, because it's available to me. And that's another strategy of that constant gratitude, you know. There's lots of strategies out there. I'd love to experience some of those with you guys. If some of you are like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, Beth. I'm struggling. I'm scared. I'm angry. Okay. I get it. Call me. We'll go to have coffee or a beer or shrimp, whatever. We can be there for each other, okay? We can be there for each other. But I don't want us to become the monster that we're fighting against, okay? That's what I don't want. So I send you love. All of you, I send you love. And I'm here for you. Love you all.